Hello everyone, I'm Joseph Ogole by name. As you all know, you've seen me in the last video. I'm going to be taking you through the journey of full stack development, and I'll be explaining the introduction to full stack development. So today, I'm talking about what full stack development is. Full stack development means building both the front end, which is what we see. I'm going to be talking about the back end, how things work behind the scenes. So initially, we are talking about full stack, which is of two things. I said it's the front end and it's the back end. The front end, of which we know, is actually the user's interface, and the back end is actually behind the scenes. So when you're talking about the front end here is what we'll be focusing on, the experience and the user interface, which is the HTML, the structure, the CSS, the design, and the JavaScript, which is the interactivity of what we are going to be doing on your website. So on the other end, which is the back end, we are going to be handling the logic, the database, and the server, which we are going to be using the languages of PHP, which we have the languages to be of PHP, Python, and Node.js. When I'm talking about those three, I'll be taking you through the journey of PHP. I will be using the database of MySQL and Mongo, of which I'll be explaining more on MySQL. So, how the front end and back end works. Front end actually works by when the user click a button, there is request for a particular server, and the server processes it, and we have a response to show. That is our front end and back end gets to work. Because if we, the user, we get to just click on something, on a button, which is what we see, we interact with. We click on the button, it's the request of the button which is being clicked on, it's going to be sent while the server processes it, and the request that is sent is going to be shown to us. That is how front end and back end works. If in the initial stage, I said the front end is actually what we see, and the back end is what happens behind the scene. So behind the scene there in this aspect is the server processes, and the front end is we connecting and clicking a button of what we want to do. Tools used by full stack development. We have to use our code editor, which is the Visual Studio Code. More people use they are using a low memory system. You can actually use Notepad++ or the likes like that. But the standard use for it, for code editor, we use Visual Studio Code. And we make use of browsers. What kind of browser do we make use of? We make use of Google Chrome, we make use of Microsoft Edge, or any other browser that you get to have on your system. And we make use of a framework, which is the Bootstrap that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to use a version of control, which is GitHub, which is how you're going to see all the projects you've done live. Why learn full stack development? Learning full stack development, it is a high demanding skill. We can use it to build a complete website or applications, and it is basically used for freelancing and remote jobs. So if you should have the knowledge of full stack development, you are having more on you're having higher opportunities to learn and earn money. That is basically why we should learn full stack development. Who can become a full stack developer? A beginner can become a full stack developer. A student can become a full stack developer. A business owner can become a full stack developer. And even anyone that is willing to learn can become a full stack developer. So in this, all things what I'm saying here, it all depends on your determination that this is what you want to learn, this is what you want to put your time in, and you are good to go. No, being an accountant, being a scientist does not actually tell. All you just need to do is you have to have the mindset that you want to be a full stack developer. So what you will learn in this class I'm going to be taking you through, you're going to be learning HTML, you're going to be learning CSS, and you're going to be learning JavaScript. So in the front end, these are the three things I'm going to be taking through. And in the back basis, I'm going to be taking you the back end basis, and we're going to have real projects to actually talk about. And in this class, I want you all to follow up, to ask questions, and to practice often, because practice makes more perfection. And I want you to stay focused. When you get to focus more on what we put you through each week, you are going to know and be able to do more beyond your creativity. I want you to like our post, comment, and follow for more. Thank you. Stay tuned.